Hey there, today we're going to look at Nightmare on Elm Street Blu-ray collection. That's just starting to come out on all the different regions around the world. I picked up the British one from amazon.co.uk, and we're just going to have a look through that series. What we're looking at here is a couple of old Nightmare on Elm Street posters I dug out of an old box that I used to have up on my wall when I was a kid. I picked up those from a video store that was going out of business, selling off all their wares. Perhaps not the best of the Nightmare on Elm Street films, but a couple of cool posters for the wall, especially this one. And they're in Pippi's little sleepy corner here. Now the set itself comes in this pretty cool slipcase. It's Freddy popping through. And as you see here, it's the original first 7 Nightmares. So it includes the original run of 7 films before they took a break and came back with Freddy vs. Jason, and then that remake more recently, but we'll talk about those later. On the back here it tells you what's on each disc. It's spread out over 5 discs, with Nightmare on Elm Street, the original film, taking up the first disc with a lot of special features for that particular movie, and then you've got special features for each film, but the next 6 films are spread out over 3 discs, 2 films per disc, and then the 5th disc is over 3 hours of special features, including an all-new retrospective, Fear himself, The Life and Crimes of Freddy Krueger, 2 episodes of Freddy's Nightmare TV series, a few other featurettes. So let's talk about the transfers themselves. You shouldn't be too surprised. The Nightmare on Elm Street, it's the same excellent transfer that came out a year or so ago. The film looks amazing. It's never looked so good. It's got great colours, great skin tones, a lot of pop. It retains its film grain, so it hasn't been scrubbed out with any of the detail. It's got good detail. Now, the film stock in the 80s was always quite grainy because they used a lot of low-grade, cheap film stock, but these films look pretty good. There's no real excess problems with the grain or the noise. It's just a nice, healthy level of grain and detail. Now, the first film also has a bunch of special features, lots of featurettes. It's got 2 audio commentaries. The first one with director Wes Craven and co-stars Heather Langenkamp and John Saxon. Heather Langenkamp being the lead, the young girl in the film, and John Saxon being the guy who played her father. Also the cinematographer Jacques Haitkin. And the second commentary is Wes Craven with co-stars Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, Renee Blakely, and producers Robert Shea and Sarah Risher. Now, I've only listened to the first commentary back when I used to have this on DVD. A fairly good commentary, not astounding, but interesting enough to make your way through. The second one, I'll have to give it a little listen. I don't know if I'll go all the way through, having just watched the film so recently. Just packed to the gills with different sort of featurettes and little numbers, as well as this commentary. So it's a good set on that first disc. Now the second disc has A Nightmare on Elm Street 2: Freddy's Revenge. It comes with 4 featurettes and a theatrical trailer, and it also has Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors with 7 featurettes, music video from Dokken, and theatrical trailer. Now the second film was a bit of a strange one, as it doesn't really connect up to the other films, and it plays by a slightly different set of rules as far as what Freddy can and can't do. Without going into specifics, it's just sort of an oddball. I never used to like it so much, but there's been a lot of contrasting opinions on how the sequels fare on Blu-ray as far as image quality. The sound quality is all fairly even, but the image quality varies. But some reviews pick certain films over others, and others contrast with that. So this is the way I see them. With Nightmare on Elm Street 2 has a surprisingly solid transfer, as it has looked pretty bad on DVD, and I would recommend the transfer on that. Unfortunately, Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors, which is a fan favourite sequel and probably the best sequel in my opinion, has probably got the worst transfer of the lot, although it is a huge upgrade from DVD. It's just not quite as stable as the other Blu-ray transfers. Seems a bit flat. The print doesn't seem quite as in good condition. That Nightmare on Elm Street 3 sort of continues on from Elm Street 1. Heather Langenkamp returns as she's a bit older now, and she's helping a new group of kids who who are being haunted by Freddy Krueger. Okay, and then on disc 3 you have A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, and Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. Now, Dream Master comes with 4 featurettes and a theatrical trailer. Dream Child comes with 5 featurettes, 2 music videos, one from the Fat Boys, one from Houdini, and a theatrical trailer. Elm Street 4 looks pretty strong. It's back up to more of the quality of Elm Street 2, as far as the pop and the colours and the sort of depth of field. It's a pretty strong transfer. Funnily, the first 2 Elm Street films I saw as a kid were 2 and 4. I went back and saw the others a few years later, and I always liked 4. I don't know if it's just the nostalgia of it being one of the first ones I saw, but I think it's a pretty solid. It carries on from Dream Warriors pretty well. Dream Warriors had Patricia Arquette in the lead, as well as Lawrence Fishburne in that film, but Patricia Arquette's character carries on in The Dream Master, but is played by a different actress. Then in Elm Street 5, a few of the characters return from Part 4, so it's another direct continuation, and it's really pretty terrible. Part 3 sort of is the first one to start adding a little humour in, and sort of focusing on more personalised dreams. Part 4 moved on that a little further, but Part 5 is just totally ham-fisted with the dreams, and Freddy Krueger is way over the top with the silly puns and the humour, starting to get a bit ridiculous. As far as the makeup goes for Freddy Krueger, you don't really see much of him in the first one, and the second one he looks amazing, and he looks real good in the third one. Fourth one, it starts to change a little, but the fifth one, he looks completely different. He looks really plasticky. It's not a good look at all. I don't know what they were thinking, but of changing the way his facial textures were, but he just looks like a bad Halloween mask. And combined with the bad humour and the bad set pieces and some marginal effects, it's really not a very good film, but it has a pretty strong transfer here. I would say along the lines of numbers Part 4 and 2, maybe a little bit less.